On the high moorlands of Gardoms Edge, Derbyshire, the land looks empty. Just wind, rock, and the odd roaming sheep. One may just hike on through, perhaps stopping the odd time to take in the panoramic views. But if one was to look a little closer at their surroundings, then they might notice that the truth is this place is secretly crowded. Not with people now, but with their traces. For over 5,000 years, humans lived, farmed, buried their dead, and marked this landscape with meaning. Amongst the moss and birchwood trees, there are cairnfields, enclosures, and a standing stone. The stone itself is a large block of local gritstone, standing approximately 2 meters high. It has a distinctive triangular shape, and is set at a noticeable angle, which has led researchers to consider whether its positioning was intentional rather than accidental. Archaeological studies suggest that the stone may have been deliberately aligned with the movement of the sun. One prevailing interpretation is that it functioned as a seasonal marker. During the summer months, sunlight illuminates the broader face of the stone, while in winter much of it remains in shadow. This pattern has led to the theory that the stone may have been used to track seasonal changes, which would have been important for agricultural planning. Let's journey a little further and take the path less travelled. Among the most haunting signs on Gardom's Edge are the carvings etched into stone, cup and ring marks, circles inside circles, spirals scratched into gritstone by old hands. These carvings likely date to the late Neolithic or early Bronze Age. No one agrees what they mean. Could they have marked routes across the uplands, or sacred places, or moments of ritual, memory, or identity? Does its position suggest it was meant to be encountered or hidden? The rock that you will find today isn't actually rock at all. It's a fiberglass copy. The original dug and buried in order to protect it, but it is a representation of how it once would have been. Now, I'm going to present to you an idea. I'm not saying it is right or wrong. It is simply just an idea. That is all. This wasn't random decoration. It was a lived-in, worked-in, believed-in landscape. A place where land, sky, time, and stories were stitched together. All people had were their surroundings, nature, and each other. At day, your display was the sun and the clouds, and at night, your screen was the moon and the stars. So let's look up. We always drag meaning into the sky. There, in the darkness, is the Pleiades, a tight cluster of stars, visible to the naked eye, known across cultures as the Seven Sisters. For prehistoric people, this wasn't just decoration. It was a calendar, a signal. Its rising and setting marked seasonal changes, times to move, to herd, to harvest, to survive. Now here's where things get interesting. Cup and ring carvings often show clustered dots surrounded by circles, patterns that, to modern eyes, look suspiciously like star groupings. Are they maps of the sky? Maybe, maybe not. There's no direct proof linking the carvings at Gardom's Edge to the Pleiades. Archaeologists remain cautious. In my opinion, the connection isn't absurd. Both are about repetition. Cycles return, dots gathered into meaning. You may ask, why are there only 6 symbols if it represents 7 stars? But the 7th star, Pleione, has not been visible, and likely disappeared from easy naked eye visibility around 100,000 years ago. At that time, the star Pleione was far enough from the star Atlas to be seen individually. They have since moved too close together for most people to distinguish them, turning 7 visible stars into 6. Interestingly, though, they are still known as the 7 Sisters. This cluster, situated within the constellation Taurus, is not only an astronomical feature, but one of the most culturally significant celestial objects in human history. They are not just stars, but also a story, possibly one of the oldest stories to ever have been told. In Greek tradition, they were the daughters of the Titan Atlas and the sea nymph Pleione. Their story reflects themes common in early mythologies: vulnerability, pursuit, and divine intervention. According to tradition, the sisters were pursued by the hunter Orion. In response, the god Zeus transformed them into stars, placing them in the heavens where they remain beyond harm. Nearby, Orion was also set among the stars, and in the night sky, the constellation appears to follow the Pleiades across the heavens, preserving the narrative in celestial form. Yet this story is not unique. Across the world, cultures separated by vast distances and with no contact with one another developed strikingly similar interpretations of this same cluster. In indigenous Australian traditions, the Pleiades are also understood as a group of women, often pursued by a male figure associated with Orion. In parts of North America, they are described as sisters or children placed in the sky for protection. In Japan, the cluster is known as Subaru, a term meaning to gather or to unite. These recurring themes suggest that the Pleiades occupied a shared place in early human perception, shaped both by their visual prominence and by the patterns the human mind instinctively seeks. The carvings at Gardoms Edge may not be literal star maps, but they belong to the same human instinct, to fix fleeting things into permanence, to take cycles in the sky and echo them in stone, to say, "We were here, we saw this, it mattered, the stars move, the people vanish, the stone remembers, the memories remain, the stories live forever." Could it be, just could it be, that the standing stone is a clock, a dial, a shadow guide? And could it be that the rock art is a reflection, a mirror of the night sky, a physical embodiment of the 7 sisters?